Why hello, you wonderful Witcher watchers, and welcome to Screen Rant. The Witcher, one of Netflix's biggest releases of 2019, turned out to be a huge hit, and depending on how you define watch, possibly Netflix's biggest first TV season ever. We will be going into spoiler territory about Season 1 in this video, so if you haven't finished it yet, it might be a good idea to do so before you watch any further. Good? Okay, so this season introduced viewers to Geralt of Rivia, Yennefer of Vengerberg, and Princess Ciri as they make their way through the fantasy world known as the Continent. One of the most interesting things about the show, albeit kind of confusing for those not familiar with the novels and games, is that the story is told out of order chronologically, and they pretty much leave it up to the audience to piece together when is when. It makes more sense the further into the season you get, and the timelines do all finally converge in the season finale. They renewed the show for a second season before the first one was even out, and this one will thankfully follow a much more linear structure. But the first season still left us with some questions we're hoping that they explore. I'm Greg Elliott, and here are the biggest mysteries we think Season 2 of The Witcher needs to explain. Okay, so when Season 1 begins, it's established that Geralt is already a seasoned monster hunter, and not an ordinary one at that. But the show never explores how Geralt became a Witcher, the enhancing process that he went through, or the consequences of his training, so we'd like to see Season 2 go more into his backstory. We do get a little bit in the season finale after Geralt becomes delirious after being bitten by a monster, possibly a ghoul or a necker, and we see some flashbacks of his childhood and learn that he was abandoned by his mother to be picked up by his future mentor Vesemir. So we're hoping that Season 2 shows us more and helps us understand better who Geralt is. Unlike Geralt, Yennefer's backstory was pretty well fleshed out in the show. We saw how she started out and how she transformed literally from a deformed hunchback to a powerful mage, and how she became an important character in Geralt's life and at the Battle of Sodden Hill. And at that battle in the season finale, Yennefer used her chaos to take out the Nilfgaardians, but appears to have vanished in the process. So what happened to her? In the books, Yennefer is actually blinded during the battle, and she's bleeding from the eyes as she casts her final spell. It kinda looks like that in the show, so maybe Season 2 will follow the same route and deal with that and any other physical or mental consequences of all the magic she had to channel. Season 1 also gave us a little taste of what Ciri is capable of. She spends most of the season running away and hiding in the woods, and we know that she's got some serious power in her, but she doesn't know exactly what it is, how to control it, or how to use it. But now that Geralt is with her, we expect that Season 2 will have him helping her understand her powers and even training her. And let's talk about Geralt's wish. In Episode 5, when the Djinn is about to kill Yennefer, Geralt uses his last wish to save her. Now, exactly what he wished for isn't revealed, but Yennefer later claims that whatever it was ended up binding them to one another in some way. The books don't actually explicitly say what the wish was either, but it's heavily implied that Geralt somehow managed to bind his fate to Yennefer's, though what that means exactly and what the implications of it are, we don't really know. The next season of The Witcher does have a lot of source material to pull from, but we're hoping it addresses some of the mysteries and doesn't leave us with too many unexplained plot holes. Season 2 probably won't be out until mid to late 2021, so we might not get answers anytime soon, but that does give us plenty of time to rewatch and revisit the books in the meantime. We'll be here for you along the way, so toss us a coin every once in a while and we'll keep you up to date. I'm Greg Elliott, and I'm gonna go sit in a corner and brood. See ya.